How important is paper qualification?
I don't think it's very important now, because in America I realized the first time I went to America on the invitation of Reverend Jesse Jackson in 1971, I realized, even in Chicago, that many people were told, show me what you can do, not your PhD. If you have a PhD, show me what you can do. I have heard a PhD here on television from University of Lagos who said, I saw there's a Dr. James some times ago. And I know some PhD says sometimes ago instead of some time ago. And a lot more. They mispronounce words, and I feel sorry for their students, or somebody who might have the H factor. Why
is it important to teach young people to use their hands?
People should be encouraged. I learned how to play music by watching Fela and his mom teach a drummer how to convert from being a high life drummer to jazz drummer, and I was drumming on my lap. I learned how to cut hair because we were cutting hair ourselves, I mean my friends and I, after our barber disappeared from McCarthy Street, Lagos Island. So we started cutting out of our own hair. We couldn't pay 7 and 6 pence to go and cut hair at Kingsway stores or Ikoyi Hotel. First of all, you couldn't even be allowed to Ikoyi Hotel. So I learned how to cut hair. I became the best of the lot. I decided to start a barber shop, and my friends were coming. I didn't even know how to use the clippers. But I was sent to Idumota to go and buy clippers and had to learn how to use them again on my friends. So there again, using my hands, playing music, using my hands and intuition. And then being a drafter, I designed the country house of the Sierra Leonean Prime Minister, Albert Magai, and a house with a swimming pool on top for a BBC presenter and disc jockey, Pete Myers.
You talked about Fela a while ago. He was very critical of people in government. And what do you think of Nigerian society today?
Fela would have given them a lot of flack. Our Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, was killed. They said he was corrupt. A few days later, when the banks opened after the first coup, they found out he had only 25 pounds to his name. That was all he had in life. No house anywhere. No other bank account anywhere else but from here. So now you kill people like that, and then what do you do to these people who were stealing, like stealing was going out of style?
You are an avid gardener and a member of several environmental societies. Is government doing enough to raise awareness about environmental issues?
Well, I don't know about, all I know is that there is a Ministry of the Environment, right? I don't know what they are doing because I've not been traveling like I used to. But if you talk about Lagos, Lagos used to have a horticultural society in the old days. We still have a place called Horticultural Gardens in Epidemita, where there's a magistrate court now. There's no garden there anymore. My old age, I only grow plants for my own, my garden. And on my street, I have a block where I planted trees and all that for future generation. But by the time they actually mature, I won't be here. But it's a pity. In the old days, we had trees all over Lagos, especially on Hamamakori Street when it was King George V. And when they were rebuilding Hamamakori, they were all failed. We are the only major city in the world that hasn't got a single park. Race course, which they call TBS now, they built the monstrosity that they can say TBS, concrete jungle. There used to be, it's on a given day, at least 4 football matches, practice going on. You see people playing cricket. On Saturdays in the dry season, people will come with their horses from even Ghana. They are lucky just here at the Darochas, horse racing at TBS. we don't have a single place. So where do we gather? Let's say if we wanted to have a revolution and people wanted to meet and talk, the only place slightly open, I can take some people, is a place on at Ojota. So we don't have a single park, no public gathering place. And we say we are civilized. The one place, Lagos used to be very beautiful. If you travel around Lagos, like on Ozumba, by the way, to the right side, where you have Civic Center and all that, used to be a vista point. You couldn't build along there until Jakonde and Abacha. I'm sorry. Jakonde allowed the club down the road, Lagoon, to be built. Then now everybody's building. They're finished. There's no empty space anymore. You don't see the water anymore. The lagoon was what made Lagos beautiful. Now they are rebuilding with the advent of Fashola. Now rebuilding. There was one political person who was running for governor. The only thing he could say against Fashola was that the man was planting, he said, flowers. That's what they call plants and trees. In my opinion, any civilized person should like nature, animals, plants, old people, and babies.
When do you think would be a right time for women ordination in the Anglican Church in Nigeria? There seems to be a lot of foot dragging about it.
Yeah, but that's among the clergy. There are some laity. Like I believe women should be given or should be ordained as priests. I know two women in a church, at least at Saviour's. One is Justice Oyebanji. She is better than any priest in that church. And I tell you, she can pray, lead people in prayer, and preach herself and one Mrs. Latiwo, Bola Latiwo. They, when we have, say, women's programs like Women's Harvest, all the men, unless you are 60 and above, all the men are banished upstairs to the gallery. Women take over. They conduct the service and preach better than the men. And I say it, better than the men, especially Mrs. Oyebanji.
So women should be ordained.
They should be ordained,
in
yes.
the Anglican Church.
Women are now doctors, and a lot of them are very good. Women are lawyers. A lot of them are, well, the equivalent of QCs, SANs, and judges. A woman who helped me to get out of my, when I was looking down on myself, my inferiority complex, who shouted at me and said, listen, I work with some people who are not as smart as you are. You better get off this. If there's anything like superiority complex, start practicing it. And that's Justice Amina Oki, Asan Graham. They are good. Those women who are judges, I have come across a lot of them.
You know, they say we are all products of our past.
Yes.
You didn't have much of a formal education. Yes. How have those experiences shaped the person that you have become? And how has it impacted your life?
I appreciate education more, but what I said, my formal schooling stopped at the age of 14. I became a teacher at the age of 15, but I hated the job. I loved the children. I knew where I wanted to go because I had passed entrance examinations to King's College, Lagos, Baptist High School, Port Harcourt, and Stella Maris, a Catholic school. But I couldn't go. But when I couldn't go, I decided to improve myself by reading.
You know, I asked that question because you mentioned something about someone helping you to overcome what was...
No. Somebody just not helping me, but suggesting. Yes.
You needed to overcome what she thought was inferiority complex.
Yeah, because I used to go for a lot of jobs, looking for jobs with my good drawings, well done. I knew I was a good architect.
How does one overcome that kind of background?
No. You become when you know. You have to be, if you will, convinced in your mind that you are good like the other people. But the thing is that you have to believe in yourself. When you start believing in yourself, you can overcome that.